about 11, I said, oh, I've seen enough of this. I'm going to bed. During that time period, stocks like NVIDIA dropped to 179, Apple dropped to 276, and all the tech stocks were falling. And so I thought to myself, everybody was saying it's because of Oracle's bad reaction to the report. And I didn't think it was. I honestly believed that kind of rapid sell-off, that we had something serious going on, okay? And because of that, I thought to myself, maybe I'll go to bed, wake up in the morning, find out what it is, then I can trade it. The one thing about bad news or good news, once it's out into the market, that's when we can make some money off that news. And I like to look at that. But I got to tell you, it was I was like, there's no bottom in this thing. It just kept coming down. Everybody knows that stock I like, App. Chuck mentioned it, right? And I'm sitting there with that App stock, and it went last night from about 700 down to 688. I mean, it just kept going lower, 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 and all that. I said, this is crazy. And during that time period. And so anyway, so I walked in this morning. I woke up at my standard time, 5 o'clock, and I looked at the market. We're about 68.55 at the time. And I said, well, we're going to try to go up. And I could tell that because of after what had happened, it'd come off that low and settled down, and you could see the arb of that. And market went up this morning and actually got to a high of 68.91, which is not a bad high after what we saw last night. But what did I do? I did exactly what I'm telling you to do sometimes. Patience will pay. Didn't get into the market, didn't understand it, and I decided that, hey, I'll think it out before I put money exposed. And so far, where I made my money this morning with that company I told you about, y'all have heard of it, called PAAS. Is anybody long that stock, PAAS? Actually long the stock? Jennifer says she is. Peg, yep. Well, it's made a new high today. Claire's long. Notice all the women is there. Buck, I'll deal with why I did what I did in a second. I got a slide to deal with that, but thank you for coming. Let's keep going here. What's my next slide? Oh, I move it. Did I move it or you move it? I can't remember. You move it. Okay, never mind. Who moves it? Yeah, okay. Risk involved in trading past performance is not indicative. Okay. Yeah, me too, Liberty. Now, taking losses is a part of having success. Let me explain. I had two Cadillac trades, one in Apple, one in NVIDIA. Oh, I hated to get out of those, but the reason I get out of those, I can always get back in when I understand what I'm seeing. Does everybody understand that? I'd rather go to the sidelines, get a clear brain. And so I stepped aside on NVIDIA. I stepped aside on Apple. And I did it because I know I'll come back around at some point when the setup is better. But when a stock goes from 280 to 279 or 276, that's a warning sign. And this morning it went down. Listen to this. It eventually went as low as 273. Now you can't imagine Apple dropping that far in 1 hour or 2 hours, but it did. And I was glad I was out of it because I could go make money in PAAS point on a Cadillac trade that gets a flat tire. And we had one on Apple, we had one on NVIDIA. Now, NVIDIA, I was totally convinced when I went to bed or after yesterday's rally, even though it was a little bit in the money, about 70 cents, that I'd be fine this morning. But guess what? Guess what? It wasn't fine. So I stepped aside. Now, does that mean I don't like NVIDIA? No, it just means that I step aside where it doesn't cloud my mind. Is this making sense for everybody? Because taking losses is part of having a success. I can always get back in. All I got to do is grab this little thing we call the mouse. You go, hey, Apple's above 280.55. I can get my money back plus more if that occurs. That's my number right now on Apple. That's just an example, okay? Freeing up my mind. Tell you something else that I do. How many people do not like dealing with, like, say you got you got something coming up and you know you got to write a check for it. Yeah. How many people hate stuff like that? Everybody does, right? You want to procrastinate. Everybody wants to procrastinate, right? Here's what I found. And I would say I found it out because I look at my day and I clear up everything that I know I got to do when I come to trading. I clean that slate, and I'm a free thinker when I get in here talking to you or talking to anybody else because I'm unbiased at that stage. But anything I got to do, for example, I got a guy that's supposed to come over and work on our front door, and it's bugging me. I've called 3 or 4 times, you know what I'm dealing with. But the whole point is, so what I did today, I called the girl that set it up, and I said, he's hurting your business because I want to do some more stuff. I got her fired up. Now she's going to get the guy over here. But anyway, always clear your plate. Clear your plate. If you clear your plate, get no matter how little or insignificant it is, you're going to trade better. And that's a promise. Okay? And taking losses is clearing your plate sometime. And that's what you'll see me do when I hit what I did this morning. Will I get back into Apple? Yeah. Will I get back into NVIDIA? Oh, absolutely. Will the horse I'm riding now, PAAS, I get out of it? Yeah, at some point I will. This is what you do. Carol's talking about property. Carol, in Florida, property taxes, come out. Well, in Florida, if you pay it early, you get a big discount. When I came from Alabama, you'd wait to the last second to pay in because they didn't give you a discount. But in Florida, they give you a discount. Boy, that thing comes. I'm so anxious to get that check out the door. I always do it. Okay? That's what I do. Now, Steve asked a dumb question. Now, they say there's not dumb questions, right? Everybody got that? Well, that's a dumb question. If I get out of something, Steve, I'll just straighten you out here. If I get out of something, I'm not going to answer a question if you're still in it. You made a decision to stay in something. That's up to you. I get out of it, I'm out of it. I cleared my mind. I can't come back and say, oh yeah, I should have stayed in. I don't do that. I don't play that game. That's another example of what I've learned over the years. I used to say, when I get a question like that, I'd try to answer it. But my answer is, what did I do? I did the best thing I could do at the time. Took my loss and moved up. Everybody see where I come from on that? I'm not being hard about it. I'm just telling you, if I do something, I'm moving on. Absolutely, I'm staying in MU. And remember this, I can always get back in. Always. Now, what I'm telling you is how I think about things. It works. Having that clean plate will make you trade better. That's a promise. I know because it works. And that's what I'm sharing with you. I just wanted to cover taking losses. That's why my success rate's so good, right? I have some losses in there, but this morning I talked to Jonathan and said, get out of this. And Kerry just hit the nail on the head. He hit a home run. One of the next 10,000 trades we do, what's the big deal? Anyway, that's my opinion. Thank you. Hope that helps. Welcome to Monday through Friday at 11 o'clock. It's Train and Trade. T-Bus Talking Trade. We're adding a new feature. Chuck is going to give you, this is something he's going to post in the middle of, somewhere after RB3 to say 10:30. He's going to post, based on the information that I posted, how you could make money in his opinion. Like this morning, if you go look at app, somebody tell me about where app, I forget, wasn't 705 my pivot number. Somebody check that real quick. So Chuck should have posted, or he will post in the future, Tom's app this morning, getting along at 705. Win is high by Thinker or Train and Trade. Let me look at the high of app today. App win as high as 723. That's going to hammer how valuable what I'm giving you in the morning is, isn't it? How many of you would have got along app this morning off that pivot number, 705, because you had plenty of time to do it, and you got out up there at 720. Wouldn't that make you smile this morning? Folks, use the information I give you. It'll make you money. And I want Chuck to come from a training exercise and say, he knows me. This is what he said. This is the best way to make money off what he posted. Yeah, AGQ was a no. Okay. Where was AGQ's pivot, Neil? I forgot. I got in it, but I forgot where I got in. What was my pivot number this morning on AGQ? That was a silver play.
Tom, your AGQ was at 113.50. They're up at 133.
I'm sorry. Am I just handing out money right and left, Kerry? I'm just giving it out. And Chuck would have a tough decision today. Well, you could have bought app at X, or you could have bought AGQ at Y. You would have made on 100 shares or Delta 50 options X dollars. Don't y'all think that'd be helpful for him to post about 10:30 in the morning? Analysis of what I said to hammer home how valuable it is. I think so too. And then if you don't know how to do what he says, then we got some training to do at Think or Train and Trade. In fact, Chuck, why don't we start including that, as a slide, what you say inside our setup for Train and Trade, where we, all cover what you said. This is the way you learn. I thought about this morning. A day in the life of a trader. First, you got to qualify as a trader. Do you think 40 years living and breathing qualifies me to be a trader? I think so. I've been doing this for 40 years. I'm going to share with you how I handle my day. A day in the life of a trader. Preparation. You got to do preparation. You can't just jump in here and buy this or buy that. Your emotions will take over. Okay? Let's get to it. Preparation. What do I do? At night, and I've showed people in my small classes this, at night, I write down the Seven Sisters opening prices at 6 o'clock. That's the E-mini. Open at 68.87. NASDAQ open at 257.69. I write that down at night. Gold, silver. Silver open, here's one for you. Open last night at 62.23. Silver, right now, the reason I liked AGQ this morning, silver is trading 63.91. Does that get your attention? How valuable it is to write that down for the Seven Sisters tonight? That led me this morning to make AGQ a play. I also record the high and low from the prior trade day for the Seven Sisters and the 5 tickers I have at night. Okay? So that's my preparation. I got those tickers. I got it right here. And then, if I'm not doing a trade on the E-mini or a trade on something else, I go to bed about 11 o'clock most nights. Okay? But I always get up at 5. Pretty good stuff, isn't it? Now, Jonathan will teach you how to get these numbers if you need to know. Matter of fact, we'll go through it today. Y'all hang in here. I'm really feeling like educating. At night, I write down the 6 p.m. opening price. And for stocks of the 5 stocks I pick, okay, I write down the price at 8 o'clock at night for those 5 stocks. Now, what do I do with that information? The next morning when I wake up, I check and see, did the market trend? That's an easier market if it trends, right? Okay. That tells me they made the real Magic 5. The ones I think are going to be in the Magic 5 starts in the evening. Then I throw out some that don't make it, and I replace those that do not set up with the trend with a better stock. Okay, a bullish stock should be above the monthly open and heading higher. Simple rule. MU has been the Magic 5 every day this week, and it was again this morning. I said buy it at 260.55. Reference bar 3 saw selling pressure come into the market. Key point, MU is held up relatively well as the stock did not make a new prior day's low. So if I got an option in it from yesterday, I'm probably going to hold it and see if it makes a new low. That's what I would do with MU, even though the tech stocks were selling. I didn't get out of it. Okay? Does everybody understand what I'm doing? Take the 7 sisters, take the 5 stocks I think are going to be hot tomorrow, and then compare it to in the morning when I wake up. Okay. Magic 5 is worth a fortune. Then the market opening comes. I record the opening prices at 9:30 for all the stocks. For example, Apple opened at 279 this morning. 279, and then fell to 273. Well, I was a little nervous about Apple because I saw what it did last night. I wrote down all of them. NVIDIA was at 180 and fell to 175. Palantir, so on and so forth. Okay, write these down. The other thing I write down in the morning at 9:30 is the QQQ, the SPY, and the SPX. The QQQ today opened at 623.82. When I look at the QQQ, it's at 620 right now. You don't hear me giving you an option to buy, do you, on the QQQ, because it's below the day's open. The SPY opened at 685. It's at 685. If I traded an index right now, it'd be the SPY if it got bullish. Does everybody understand how I would go from the QQQ to the SPY? Because the SPY is holding up relatively well. Okay? Everybody understand that? That's how you compare. So I record those opening prices. That's my initial assessment. Does everybody follow me so far? I do this every day. I look for major clues as the day market starts by analyzing how reference bar 3 fits in with previous reference bars of the day. RB 1, 2, and 3X. Did we see a higher high on RBs? Did we see a lower low on RBs? Are we trading around the highs or overnight trading, or around the lows of overnight trading, or around the midpoint? Around the midpoint, I keep patience will pay. Near the highs, I'm thinking, well, we're going higher. Okay, that's what I look for. Reference bar analysis. Morning trading, decision-making time. From about 10 to 10:15, I decide if there's a trade opportunity during that time. If nothing shows up by 10:15, I usually wait to 10:30 to 10:40, reassess, and follow the same process. That's what I do. I look again at 11 to 11:10. That's the last time I looked to enter a trade following reference bar 3. Then I wait for Genesis to form, and you're with me during that time right here. That gets me to about midday. At Genesis, I'm looking for either a high or low based on RB3. That's what I'm looking for at Genesis. But what I'm really looking for down deep, after after I find out, have we made a top from the morning trade or a low from the morning trade? Continuation day, okay? I'm looking for, because those are the days that I play big when I see a continue. Holds up all day long. Somebody write that one down. If you get a continuation day off Genesis, it's time to dance. That's what happened yesterday. If you think about it, when we had all those wins in live trading, it was a continuation day all the way to the close. I mean, we only closed out 7 winners yesterday. That's a pretty good day, wouldn't you say? Now, after Genesis, I take a break to clear my mind and watch the market over lunch, casually, looking at DTR line, see if anything's out of ordinary. That's what I do. Afternoon trading. You got to be in live trading to appreciate this. Reference bar 3 kicks off the afternoon and tells you what kind of day you're going to have the rest of the day and what kind of night you're going to have and whether you got a continuation day going with the general trend. And T-Buzz. I don't know why anybody here wouldn't be there because it's about the most valuable thing that happens every day. Ask the 7 winners from yesterday, the 7 trades we have. But I issue that trade around 2:10, same time generally every day, and we have live trading with Chuck and with Jonathan Rowe. Rowe. Live trading, I'll trade anything for quit hitting QQQ day trades, 15, 20% wins, or also try to trade Cadillac style. Had a couple flat tires on those, but I had about 7 winners in there before that. That's about right. And that's what I do at 2:10. So if people win my live trades, go get a great trade today. Okay? I feature live trading Tuesday through Friday. Market close comes, I'm pretty well wrapping things up. I watch the close by finishing watching reference bar Z and see if it's in line with RB4, see if we got strength going into the evening, setting up a night trade in futures, or if it's mixed. That's what I'm looking at between those 2 reference bars at the end of the day. Now, what I wanted to do was take you through my day. Every day is the same. I always reflect and prepare. I say, what mistakes did I make today? I spent about 5 minutes on the mistakes. What did I learn today that might make me money in the future? I spent about 5 minutes on that. I asked myself, was I disciplined today? In other words, was I level in my betting? Did I follow my process? Is there anything I can take in the next trade day that gives me a heads up on how to make money in the current market environment? Those are self-assessment things that I do, okay? I do it every day. Key questions. Now, let me ask you a question. Before we get to this slide, go back to the previous slide. I want to ask the question. Give me your opinion on what I just covered. Does that help everybody to see what it takes to be successful? Okay. Watch it, use it, guide yourself each day. I got more. So let's go to my questions now. What is the most important day of the first week of January? Does everybody here know the most important day of the first in the first week of January? Say yes or no. Do you know the most important day in January? A lot of no's here. A lot of no's. Guess what? When do you think I'm going to cover that? The most important day in January. I'm going to cover it in the first week of my interactive trading home study. I'm going to show you how to get it, what it tells you. It's a whole lesson in itself. Okay, here's one for you. What stocks made lows in December that are up in January? You know how to find those stocks, get ready for early movers. Okay? That's a great question. That will be covered. The answer to those questions will be covered in the interactive trading the first week. Do you know how to build a stock watch list to trade from? This is where we get into the 25 tickers and how we use it. And we spent time yesterday covering that. These are interactive lessons that everybody here, if they're going to trade successfully in January, ought to have that foundation. You better learn it. In the second week of the month, here's things I consider. How are you going to be prepared? You know what happens in the second week of the month with news? Do you know what happens in the third week of January to move stocks? These are the kind of questions. There's probably 20 questions that will be covered like this in lessons in the month of January. Now, when you have a stock, I wanted to cover this one because I know what to do. When you have a stock that falls like Oracle, do you know when that stock becomes a buy again? We're going to use that as a case study because I know the number to buy Oracle. I'm not buying Oracle today. I'd be stupid to buy Oracle today thinking it was cheap. I know exactly when to buy it when it becomes a buy again. You need to learn that. These 5 compelling questions should urge you to be part of what I'm doing. And what I'm doing is an interactive home study course. All this and more covered in interactive home study course. And I'm going to prepare you for your greatest trading year of your life if you'll listen and stay with me week by week. Questions that are relevant to you. How valuable is it? A lot more than $999. I ought to charge $999 a week because you sure can make money if you learn this stuff, okay? Anyway, sign up at dtitrader.com/home or call us at 904-706-3532. Now, I want to pause, just take a 10-minute break, and I want to pause to go to a live market, and I want to analyze the current market for you. Then we'll play the longer tape to give you a chance to get into more details than what I gave you today. Fair enough? I think it's fair. So let's put a 10-minute thing up here. I'll come back in 10 minutes. I got more to show you. We're going to go to a live market when we come back. Get signed up. Tell me if you're signing up. That gives me encouragement that you listened and you're doing what's good for yourself. If you're signing up, let me know. I'll be back in 9 minutes. Bob says, I'm already signed up. I'm glad I came in at 25% of what you're charging now because I would have paid the $4,000 to be part of this. And remember, we'll have our first organizational meeting of the Interactive Club tomorrow at 12:30. Absolutely. Peg asked, will futures be a lesson inside the home study? Absolutely. It will be a lesson, more than one. Just got to ask the question, will there be trading inside this program? Well, the word interactive means, yeah, there'll be some trading. I plan on integrating some trades in with the program to make sure nobody has to pay for it. That's my goal. Okay. Because I want you to have free education with me. But you got to take the leap and commit and get in here at $9.99 because that's what I'm going to base it off of when I set it up to do it. So there's your answer, Skipper. So everything you want's in this one. Yeah, we'll have a Telegram channel and everything. Absolutely. No need to talk about it if we don't do it, right?
Hey, Tom, you're muted if you're talking to us here.
Oh, little things like turn the mic on, right? Okay. The first thing I want to do is to ask myself, are we at the top end or the low end of Genesis? Y'all answer that question. Are we above my pivot number, being 58, 55? All right, where is resistance? A good place to know where resistance is look where the buy zone starts. Jonathan, what's the buy zone? 95?
Well, hang on. I got it. Need to recheck that reference bar. There, that's the normal look based on this time of day. Sorry about that. The target, well, this high right here is 84, so the target of the zone is 68.93.
Yeah, 93, 95 is resistance. Okay, that looks good. Now, the next thing I want to do is go to Let's look at silver and determine what's the best horse to ride on silver. Do me an ETR line with the following stocks. SLV, AGQ, PAAS. Anybody else got any other silver plays that they can think of right now? Jim says AG, put AG in there. Now, all these stocks are in sync. They're going higher, right? Everybody see that down at the bottom? Does everybody see that? Put AU in there. I've never looked at AU. Let's put AU in there. All right, now the next thing I'm trying to do, if I had $1,000, which option would be the easiest to get into or out of? So let's go to an option chain and try to figure that out, looking at the bid and ask on the option. And we'll start with open interest, and let's go out to January 16th, Jonathan. And let's start going through these and say, that looks good, or maybe the top dog. We're trying to find a horse to ride in silver. I've been riding the PAAS, but I'm looking for something maybe better. Okay. We forgot to put Heckler in there. We should have put Heckler in there, but that's okay. All right. So let's look out to January 16th. What is the largest open interest you see for SLV?
Looks like 39,000 for the 55 strike call.
And what's the price of that option?
4.5, around 4.5.
How much has it moved today?
It's had a high of 462 and a low of 375.
About 50 cents.
Well, closer to a point.
It's a point.
Yeah, closer to a point.
Okay, and how much is silver up today? SLV up today?
$1.63.
So it's about 70% of silver, correct?
I mean, today's move is about 70% of its change. Okay. Yep.
Yeah. So if silver goes up $1.63, this thing goes up about 70% using today's activity, just a simple view. So looks good. SLV is the player. All right, let's go look at another one.
AGQ was the next one on the list. Highest open interest is the 130 at 198.
And what's this lower high?
Had a low today of $14.18. Had a high day of $16.37.
14, how much?
16.37 is the high. 14.18 is the low, about $2.20 or so.
$2.28. And how much is AGQ up today?
It's up 7.5 from prior day's close.
So it's only giving you about a 25% play. So it's not a good option stock. Everybody say I eliminated it, even though I like the stock. It's not a good option stock if you trade in size. Okay. What else we have on our list?
PAAS. January 16th, highest open interest. 5.6 thousand for the 45 call, 5.2 thousand for the 55 call.
All right, what's the high and low on PAAS?
Using the 45 call, the low is 575. And the high is 745, close to $2.
Close to $2 on PAAS. How much did PAAS move today?
It's up 2.5 points.
That's almost 100% correlation. That sounds like a pretty good stock to trade options on also. Right?
There's one for 10K open interest. Let's see what that is. 1175 down to 980. That's $2 there too.
Okay, so we got two stocks that we like, SLV and PAS. These are option stocks.
This is AG First Majestic Silver. I got one here for 57,000.
Okay, hey, stop. A couple of students are asking, go through the steps, what we did. First, we identified well-known silver stocks, Neil, just off experience, we did that. Then we're going to January 16th timeframe, which is over 30 days, and we're looking for open interest to get us started. Then we're comparing how much the options moving versus the stock to give us an idea. Okay, that's all we're doing. Okay, go on, pick it up again, Jonathan. I wanted to answer that question.
So AG, my eyes found this one here. I think that's the highest open interest, 57,000. And then we're gonna look at the low price today of $2. Change it to the high price today of $2.63. That's 63 cents. If you look up here, the change on the day, it's up $1.13. So that's about half, right, Tom?
Yeah, about 50%. Okay. Okay. I wouldn't eliminate it, but I probably wouldn't be my first choice. Okay. What else you got?
AU has the next one. It only has monthly options.
I'm out. Next. I like weekly.
The final one is Hecla for our list today. Let's see. Does have weeklies, looks like, let's see, 19,000 open interest on the 10 strike call. That's 8 points in the money. But it had a high today of 8 and a low today of 775. That's only a quarter point move on that one. Let's look at this one that has 11,000 open interest of 15 call. Had a low today of 3 and had a high today of $4.20. That's more reasonable.
$1.20. How much does Hecla move today?
$1.64.
That's a pretty good one. So we got 3 silver stocks to focus on. Let me tell you what they were. SLV, PAAS, PAAS, and NHL. Those are 3 good silver stocks right there. We ought to add those 3 to our list, okay? Our 25 tickers.
Okay.
Why am I so keen on finding some option plays with silver? I own silver, the stocks, right? I own PAAS, making money, own Hecla, making money, own SLV, making money. Now I'm trying to leverage to get into the next level. So let's summarize the steps we use. Number 1, we go at least 30 days out. We find an option with a high open interest. We look at the movement of that option and compare it to the movement of the stock. If it's 100%, oh yeah. If it's a less than 50, maybe we find one of the other. I hope that helped people. This is the kind of things in the interactive home study course that we'll be doing to make you a better trader. What do y'all think about this session so far? Pretty good session, huh? Well, get into my interactive study, get serious about trading, and we'll meet tomorrow at 12:30 on that. Jonathan, let's play the full tape for everybody. I'll be back at 1:30 for live trading, and it's going to be exciting times.
Sounds good. Thank you, Tom.
I enjoyed the session. Let's talk about how we're going to make 2026 your best year ever. When I'm thinking about the market, and I want you to think about this year, 2025, it seemed like every week there were curveballs being thrown at you, and some of them were we swung at, some of them we missed, but the idea is if we have a backbone foundational approach week by week, and we call it the interactive home study course, where we can hit upon what I would call the key information of the day, in that case of that week. For example, the first week of January is a lot different than the fourth week of January. This is a playbook that we put together that is really going to make a lot of stars out of a lot of people as we build this picture throughout 2026. We launch it on January 1st, 2026. We have priced it at 25%. I want you to do the math. 25% of what it's going to sell for. It's priced at that right now. This Friday, we hold our first gathering of the meeting to lay out the framework for January. What is that going to do for you? It's going to give you good analysis, good interpretation, and show you how to execute with your money in 2026. We limited it to 100 because that way we can get to know all 100 and have you participate in what I think will be the best home study course ever designed, built, and lived. It'll be a living document as we build it throughout the year. We'll transfer even your trading journey in 2026, taking everything we've done this year over the years and applying it week by week as 2026 unfolds. Now, we've been doing training a long time. We've taught it in a lot of different ways, a lot of different places, and we've always come about it with one objective in mind: how to help you understand, interpret, and manage your money, regardless of the economic activity, regardless of whether we're going up, going down, or just trying to stay sideways. That's the beauty of what we're putting together here. We got thousands of success stories. You're well aware of a lot of them. You made some of them yourself, writing it in here. Your excitement comes through when I read your, what I call love letters about our training. And we think it's great. Now, a lot of people feel like they're left behind. The nice thing about a 52-week home study course is you can go out and back in and catch back up. You'll be able to study it at your own pace, and you'll be able to be in tune. You need to be in tune. Now, over the years, we've heard from many DTI students who tell me similar stories. They've given up, get frustrated, seen their accounts diminish because they never get caught up. The problem is many classes are designed to teach people with advanced skill levels. This is going to be designed to take you for what 2026 is going to require from you to grow your account. You will be able to go as far and as fast as your own ability to take you. We'll be able to trade stocks. We'll be able to trade options and knowledge on how to use the futures market to take advantage of what's happening. Now, the traditional approach to trading education fails you all the time. Right now, here's the way it works. You open a brokerage. Tell me, does this apply to you? You got interested in trading, you go open a brokerage account, right? How many people open a brokerage account, get their money in the account, and then they try to figure out what to do with it? Like, well, what I buy? When do I buy? How do I buy? Right? That's what the brokerages do. They have the platform for you to put the trades on, but as far as teaching you how to use that platform in your interest. They don't do it. They'll show you how to go to some feature or something like that. But the bottom line is you've got to learn not only that, but you got to learn when to do that. That's what this is all about. The home study method, a revolutionary method designed to take anyone from total beginner in trading to how far you want to go, a complete transformational activity in 2026. How about Jennifer? Now, Jennifer was on the wrong path. She did exactly what I just described. Had a brokerage account. She figured that part out, got her money in an account. But when I met her at Sawgrass, it was like a lost ball on a high weed. She didn't know what to do with her, how to make money with it. She didn't have a process, but she listened. She studied. And she's on her path right now to be a full-time trader. That is the beauty of what we can do for you. About David, a long-time trader, very experienced trader, but could never get to consistency. And what was it? Was it because you had lack of knowledge? No, he had plenty of knowledge. It was the ability to take go and put it aside and follow the process. A lot of people will stumble on the way. You have a periods of great success and then you get blown away. You got to have that process and you got to be strong enough to follow those rules. These rules and discipline separate everybody from that. Everybody has to do it every day. Carol, here's someone that had money, but no knowledge. But she took it upon herself to study and was committed to be an excellent manager of her own money. You met Carol. She's become a gold member, and she's been one of my favorite students to work with, watching her growth as a trader over the years. Now, this is all about you. This is about whatever you're at, whether you got plenty of money or you're trying to get started. The amounts of money it takes can be tremendous. We call it the school of hard knocks. Listen to the following words. You do not want to learn this from the school of hard knocks. Take and get the experience that somebody has learned it through the school of hard knocks, where you don't make the mistakes that I made, probably still make. But the idea is learn from our mistakes and make those mistakes not things you do. It costs you a fortune. Don't do it, whether it's 5, 10, or 20,000. But there's a better way. Working together with us. This is your invitation. Get on board. You will see exactly how to navigate 2026, regardless of direction, regardless of volatility, regardless of the economy. I will show you through this interactive home study how to grow your account week by week as we go through 2026. The interactive home study course, never had it at DTI in all the years of training. This interactive course. Interactive means you'll be able to ask questions, answer questions, and learn. Ask the people that were face-to-face with me. We would not go to another subject this week until everybody agreed. I understand it. I know what you said. I know what it means now. There's a language of the market. You'll learn that. Now, I bring this up all the time. When I was in grammar school, we had a little thing called the Weekly Reader. Anybody remember the Weekly Reader? You know, they had 99,000 subscribers in 1962. But I was so excited because, you know, you've heard me say this. How would you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. That's how you learn how to trade, one bite at a time. Folks, this is so valuable, what I'm talking about tonight, because we're going to take it, regardless of your experience level, we'll take you as far as you want to go. The idea, though, is for you to take that knowledge, repeat the process over and over again, where at the end of the day, no matter what happens, you'll be able to adjust. Yes, we'll master the fundamentals of market timing, key numbers. The reference bar approach that I've been teaching for many years is still the best approach out there. You will learn inside out of that. You'll know when you look at the market, like tonight. It's not a buy yet. It will become a buy, but not now. The timing is so important. Reading charts. I wish I had a dime for every hour I spent learning all the chart reading methods out there. We will show you through this course when and how to interpret those charts on a consistent basis based on time of day. What about asset education? You know, there's a lot of different assets that make up the market. In 2026, you better be aware of it. There's going to be different leaders in the market. It won't just be the Mag 7 anymore. You will have to be very knowledgeable to know where to put your money and what sectors to do it. We will show you what I call a sector top-down approach to find out where money should flow. Risk management is always an integral part of everything you do when you risk capital. I will show you techniques that I use that other people use. In fact, some of our guests are well known in this sector. We will bring people in throughout the year, experts that I've met over my career, that I thought somebody ought to learn what that guy's got to say or what she has to say. And there's a lot of good ones out there. How about the psychology, the emotions involved? You know that the emotions can play a big part in your success. How do you feel? Man, I don't feel like taking a trade today. Anybody ever said that? Oh, I don't feel like trading today. It might be the best trading day of the year, and you're sitting there saying, I don't feel like trading. How to overcome that through the use of time, numbers, and process. And the discipline to follow along. Key, isn't it? And then after you follow along, have success, the confidence to put your dollars out there and let it work. How about the long-term cycles that come into play? This will be the second year of the presidential cycle. Does everybody here know what happens the second year of a presidential cycle? Better learn. But here's not only learn what happens in general, but you better learn the timing of that. That is so important. We will cover that week by week as we live 2026 together. We'll have playbooks to start each month in accordance with the presidential cycle and how to play it. And that will start out with our annual play and broken down to our monthly play. It'll be beyond the basics. I will take you, and the staff of DTI will take you beyond the basics. Advanced subjects you won't get anywhere else, right here inside the interactive home study. How about special trading days? How would you like to know at the start of every month the most probable days that the market might go up or go down? That's called seasonality. It happens, especially when you have that roadmap to look at. Examples are the day after Thanksgiving, one coming up the day after Christmas. These are big days in the market when most people don't even think about it that way. We have it outlined and we're ready to go. Tax option, this is something that somebody brought up, one of the students brought up. I have a fellow who's been doing it for like 30 years. He will give you an executive summary, something you can walk away with and tie into how to set yourself up and take advantage of the opportunities available to you as a retail trader. How to write things off you're probably not even thinking about writing off. That saves you money. IRA retirement strategies. What strategies will work best inside those? Different account structures. And of course, navigating the compliance of all the rules that apply. There's a lot of rules that apply in trading. You need to know it. Whether you're making a transition from an active job to a retired job, and what you're going to do with your time and how you're going to do your time. Here's my biggest goal, is to teach you how to do it without having to sit in front of a computer all day long, like I've done over the years. If you remember, I told you that students in the past have paid anywhere from $5,000 to $20,000 to access the top tier of our education. And many of them would gladly do it with how far they've come and what they've been able to achieve. Here's your chance. At 25% of our retail price, it's better than any Black Friday sale, it's better than anything. It's what we're offering the first 100. Let's have success together. That's about you. Let's make it happen. If you need that special individual attention, you will get it through your interactive home study course. A lot of testimonials over the years. We care about you, care about your success. It shows up. All you do is say, well, how long you been in DTI? And somebody says, I've been here 15 years. Why do I keep coming back? It's the best of the best of breed when it comes to trading education. That's been our goal, and we try to do it each and every year. Let's make this, anybody that joins us, our goal, as we lay out our goals, what you want to accomplish over to 2026. And I can ask that right now. If you could start right now and say, this is where I'd like to be in December of 2026, what would you say right now if I said that, based on the money you're going to put in the market at the end of 2026? Would you want to be self-assured that you could read the market, do what you need to do? I think so. This is your chance to be part of it as we go through each week. That's a great question. If you are a couple, you only have to buy one home study, okay? If you are, if you are a couple. Great question, Mindy. All right, here's the way the pricing is going to work. We got 52 live sessions. All recordings will be included. Access to all seasons recordings, special webinars, special things that we do. Once we get to 100, we'll graduate the price. So you'll be getting in at the rock bottom price, plus have the ability to shape things you want to see. Everybody here's got different ideas of things they want to see. That's what Friday's about. Be part of it. $9.99. Sign up tonight. Be one of these students. I don't know where we are towards 100, but I know we're not there yet. Get on board tonight. Joining our small classes, learning this, and finding the passion that you need as you make that transition from being retired. Always educate yourself. I've got a student ask me right now that was just at a small class, Hey, Tom, should I take 100% on this trade or 44% on MU? That's a great question. Isn't that a great place to be, being face to face with us? I think so. I'll come back around to you, David, in a second. Roger, my orthopedic surgeon from Texas, I'll be with him one-on-one next week. He's making that transition from full-time doctor to full-time retired doctor. One-on-ones next week. Get signed up, dtitrader.com/home. Monica got her husband to join, and I love it because Robert now is not going to sit there in the dark as Monica navigates this by herself. I love the fact they're working together. You got to love her enthusiasm. You don't even have to leave home. That's the beauty of it. You get the DTI advantage, the experience of what we've learned. Folks, nothing like it. I mean, how many people could go to a class on a Monday, spend that day and be asking that question here on Wednesday? 100% on an investment, 44% on investment, 22% on another one. You gotta love it. There it is, folks, $9.99. That goes away once we get to 100, Adam. Don't let it go past that. It's 25% right now, a bargain to get on board. And hey, we will meet this Friday for the first time, so don't delay. Any questions? Let me answer David. David, what I'd like you to do is tomorrow, give me a call. Let me look at the opening and I'll guide you on whether to get out of that MU. I'd probably stay with the silver. I think it's worth a lot more than 100% from where we got in. Will definitely help. Just call me tomorrow. I'll be glad to help you. I don't know anybody would do that. I'll do it because David took the time to travel here, spend time with me. He's in the home study course. He wants to do this the right way. That's what you got to love. So, folks, are you with us? Or are you waiting? Or are you procrastinating? Don't be a Johnny come lately, as they say. Get involved tonight. Peg asks, how big are the accounts? I always tell people this. Depending on your status of experience, you want to start with a minimum of $2,000. This is for people. This is for people's growth. And let me tell you what's great about this course. If you got a grandchild or somebody after you finish this year, you'll have that package you can give to them. It'll still be a viable course even after this year. Now we'll go on and keep it expanding, but the bottom line is think about that opportunity. Think about that. You can share the wealth after we finish in 2026. You gotta love it. You'll have it all documented in there. Adam's got that. I forgot what I told him, maybe 12:30 Friday. Maybe that's what I told him, 12:30. Gwendolyn says, I'm already in, Tom. I'm looking forward to it. We'll see you Friday for the very first meeting. Am I excited about this? Yes. I've always wanted, all right. Oh, by the way, we'll have a Telegram channel specifically for the interactive home study course. And you know what's going to be great about it? We're going to fix this one a little different. That's a surprise coming. I'll talk to Adam and make the announcement on Friday. I think you're going to like it when I say interactive. You got it, interactive. So be part of that 100 base team of people coming in. Other questions? Now, Adam, will they be able to, I know some people came in late, will they be able to take this and you replay it, or will you replay something for them?
Yeah, T-Buzz, I will.
Yeah, I'll talk to Adam about that, Gwendolyn, and we'll announce it Friday at the get together, okay? All right, Adam's gonna play it for those that got late. They can hear the whole